Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show. Then this would be the final episode before we celebrate the long weekend. I suppose many of you would have known or already gone back to your hometown. A very happy pre-Chinese New Year. 恭喜发财 to all our listener who is celebrating Chinese New Year. I wish you a safe travel and be careful on the road. I do know today is a toll-free road, so take advantage of it. But last night, we did see a different market from the US, as we've seen the 3-day sell-off after we have a 4-day upright. Remember, we are still in the middle of this what so-called pre-recession or pre-warning recession, whatever you want to call it in here. It's still the interest rate continue to go higher. The only positive thing that we have was the lower inflation rate, which is a 6.5% announced the week before. But since then, now we have the debt ceiling, the US debt ceiling, where the Congress have to come out at least to agree on raising the debt ceiling limit in here, else the US will default, and that would interestingly cause a lot of default. But like many other years, usually they agreed at the last final hour and then the market just goes on it is. But let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show in here. So this morning we will be looking into the pre-Chinese New Year rally. You know, it's a very, very minor rally, as we said before, and the KLCI struggled to crack the 1500 inlet. I think this is quite realistic. Don't get me wrong. I do think eventually the KLCI would crack that 150. Why? Is because if you look at all the other market, the US market has also cracked, with the exception of the technology stocks, which is tend to be focused more on the so-called interest rate sensitive regime. So that's why we're seeing that. But with the Dow Jones cracking above the 200 moving average, and I do think the KLCI, although our 200-day moving average is below the 1500 right now, it's still cracking, looking in here, but the market is moving up nicely. Now, I did talk about the week before that roughly you have only something like 12 days before the market peak, and usually we do see a green pentagon where it happened much earlier, and then we do see the market trending up, and usually we get about a month or so. So we are very close to the top. As a matter of fact, be ready should the market turn downwards, and that's why we want to use the green pentagon and the red pentagon to tell us where is likely the market is likely to turn in here. So if you're inexperienced, the VSA 60 will definitely do the hard work for you. You can also participate in our 10-day free trial if you have not done so in here. Now, if you look at it, we also like to hear your feedback. Give us a feedback how we can improve this show in here, but more on our VSA 360 with the focus on Intraday Alert. Now, of course, our VSA 360 next week will be launching the new feature, which is the insider buying and selling, that you may find it one of the advantages to have it in here. And we have certainly backtested some of those examples. So join me next Friday as we will launch this new feature in our VSA 360, much and so forth. All right, let's take a look at what we have today on the 20th of January and what we have on our VSA 360. Those of you who are not familiar, you should get a dashboard in here, and we always look at the overall market. Now we can see US has turned red pentagon, the Dow Jones has turned red pentagon. So what does that mean? That means these two markets, the KLCI and SGX, will turn red pentagon very, very soon, because we have a 3-day sell-off, isn't it, right? So this sell-off will certainly come. So if you have any other stocks in mind, just, you know, take some profit, because the market will be closed on Monday and Tuesday, and you'll reopen on Wednesday in here. So take note of that one. So you can see the KLCI nicely flow, and what we have usually is the foreign funds. Okay, let's take a look at the foreign funds. You can see the foreign funds, the outflow are the rate. You can see the last 2 days 72 million, 115 million, and that's why the market could not break. As you see, the 1500 seems to be the resistance that we have. And on top of that, we have the energy sectors are back, logistic, technology is back. You know, technology is coming up nicely. REITs. Then we have property in here. So that is what's powering this market. This morning the market is up less than 0.5%, almost hardly move. And you know, the market's generally some green, some red kind of thing, as we can see. And let's take a look at the KLCI screener that we have. We got only about 4 or 5 sectors that is red. The majority of them are green. We got the transport. You can see transport has moved up nicely here, right, since the green pentagon. You got the energy, then you got technology is coming back, also up 3% in here. And this is where we talk about the triple top. And remember, last week when we did our breakfast show, we actually picked 2 technology stocks. We'll take a look at them, how well they have done here. Also, consumer in here. Now, it's important why we look at this is any stocks that we are looking at, especially if we are trading, we want it to be in sync with this so-called very positive, very trending sector like the transport, rates, energy, and technology. So you'll know that these are the sectors that you'll be buying. Basically, you want to piggyback on this big wave that you have in here, right? And they've been, you know, turning green pentagon. KLCI has been green for almost 22 days ago, and that's what we talk about. And then usually it is only about 1.5 months, give and take. Another 12 more days, it will turn red pentagon. And we have seen the Dow Jones already turned red pentagon, so it's just a matter of time. This market is likely to turn red pentagon in here. All right. Now we're going to be taking a look at the alert here, and what Marsing has turned green pentagon. Just this morning, actually, last night, turned green pentagon in here. RHB, red, M-Bank, SYY, food distributor turned red pentagon. Then we got Emilus turning red pentagon. I got that one out. THS, Globetronic turned red pentagon 18th of January, just 2 days ago. Then you got Aeon, Datasonic turned green. Tesla turned green. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. MD Pharmaceutical, and Top Glove. Okay. Oh, Top Glove has turned all the green, has turned green pentagon. So that's UWC, something that we talked about last week. 16th of January has also turned green pentagon in here. All right. For my own one, it's just Syscorp turned red pentagon. So you can really add those alert in there if you want to. All right. So those are the stocks that you want to be looking at if you have them in mind. And let's take a look at, we've seen the sectors in here. Now let's take a look at the schematic of the chart in here, where the KLCI is breaking above the 200-day. We all know that. And we can see the market is really snaking up, snaking down. I do know that many of our regular audience are sort of away right now. And they'll be taking their breaks in here, probably doing house cleaning. They want to watch this a bit later. But the market is poised to break higher in here. We have the green pentagon already, and we're also not getting the volume that we want to. Definitely, for sure, the volume is dipping down in here. So you really want to watch out the red pentagon very soon in here, all right? But and this is why we talk about it. You can see we have the last so-called up thrust here, another up thrust. So the market is slowly moving up in a very nice straight line. You can see the railway track, it's also narrowing. And should the market break above after on next Wednesday, because of the 2-day break, we'll see this market likely to close up higher in here. We are still in the stage 2 markup. Retesting the breaking of the 1500, it's significant, and once it does break it, it's very important that it stays above the 1500 in here and hold it in here, and then later on only reverse back to retest the 1500 level, and then usually that's the case in here. But I expect today to be a quiet trading day ahead of the Chinese New Year festive. Monday, Tuesday will be closed, and we will resume, the KLCI will resume on Wednesday. But take note, the US market is still open on Monday and Tuesday. It's just that this part of Asia, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, and China will be closed for this spring. They call it the Spring New Year or the Chinese New Year, much of that. Okay. And from the VSA plugin using the futures chart, you could see the retest of the 3 up thrust, and up thrust. Perhaps the market's moving, and it broke through the 200-day moving average, as I said before. But this is where the top of the roof, the breaking through the roof in here, it is significant, but I think it's likely to break above this market in here. As I said before, in here, it will break, and but the question is, it could break, and then make a U-turn also in here. All right, so another uptrend in here. So KLCI is uptrend with a sideways bias in here. Can we still find some of those intraday trade? As I said before, you want to be exiting soon if those trades doesn't have it. So let's take back to the 13th of January. Those of you remember, we pick up 2 shares around the 916 and 945, sorry, 916 and 936 in here. UWC and Franken. Now remember, these are big heavyweight, the 3 ringgit and the 4 ringgit big cap stocks in here. And let's see how they fare. First one was Franken, right? 338 when we pick up at 916. It did hit higher the next 2 days. You can see on Wednesday it hit high, but then pull back 342. All right, 342, giving it less than 5% of a price gain in here. So that's in here. Now still holding up. The next one is UWC, pick up at 424 at 936. And the market did hit high of 426 for that day, and since then the market has sort of mellowed back in here. We did have a lot of volume yesterday. This morning the market is down 1% in here. As I said before, coming into the Chinese New Year rally, we did see technology stock moving up, but since then has tapered off after making that big move. And also this is also coming in from US as the growth of 2023 is still lacking due to the mild recession everyone is talking. But I'm still adamant of not seeing a recession from a standpoint from a US side in here. EU and Europe are probably in recession because of the higher cost of fuel in here, but yet to be seen. Now so let's take a look at the Pentagon stock idea today. There is some pre-Chinese New Year, but you just need to take shorter profits in here. We do find them in here, and it's much faster. So we have 2, Cosmos and Marsing. All right, Cosmos and Marsing in here. So let's take a look at them. And this morning on our Intraday Alert, so we just go into our premium menu, Intraday Alert, and see what else we have. We got red tone. We're just interested in those turning green Pentagon. This one is interesting. You can see CHS has a top 30 volume today. Yinsun. Just now we were looking at Able Group. Okay, Able Group. We can look at that one, and we've seen Cosmos. So let's take a look at Cosmos. Okay, this morning here, Cosmos. Cosmos Technology, nice green Pentagon here finally. All right, so that's been interesting. 54 cents. So check it out, people. All right, watch this. Next one we have is Marsing. Okay, let's take a look at Marsing. All right, Marsing. Let me just move to the end. All right, turned green Pentagon yesterday, and this morning is down 0.5% in here. But take note, you got a lot of resistance over in here. It's trying to break up, but broke through the 200-day moving average, and this is the second time, so it's quite significant. All these are pretty good setup, I would say. The other one, next one is Able Group. Okay, Able Group, Sharia, and it did turn green. It did turn green Pentagon earlier on. Okay, now it turned green Pentagon here, but this stock has a lot of this what they call untraded in here, and that's something also 13 cents. So I don't like this. You want to be something on Marsing is pretty good. Let's see next week these two stocks how well they will fare coming back to in here. All right, so all being said in here, our focus is still on pretty much on our students, and our 100-day orientation trade for those members who join us will continue to benefit you in here. You could see how they are winners. And now we started our program in here. We're coming to almost the 100-day, and let's see how our students fare in the whole example of our orientation. Those of you who join us now, you can still join us, or you can sign up for our 10-day free trial. You have not tried it up yet in here to check out some of the features of VSA 360 with our latest rollout of our insider buying and selling with a great review coming up from our members in here. All right, so if you have any stocks that you want me to take a look, I'm happy to do so. All right, Okay, we got E-frame from Kevin. Sure, let's take a look at E-frame. I think E-frame has turned green Pentagon. Yep, turned green Pentagon in here. But take note, because of the earnings was a good one. I think earnings is definitely positive in here. But you got a lot of overhead resistance in here. It'll take some time to sort of mesh through it in here. But right now you can see this is still pretty much in a nice uptrend. Stick on this one. You may have to hold true over the longer Chinese view to see the market break higher if there is a rally. But take note, you got the overhead resistance here. That is the one that is going to be, attrition in here. Good one too in here. Probably pretty much at the same level. Volumes definitely dip very low today in here. All right. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you for your thing. Okay. So that's all we have for the pre-Chinese New Year show. We will be back next Friday, perhaps next Friday, not next Wednesday. We won't be doing any live Facebook on Wednesday, so we'll be back on Friday. All right, Friday morning for our breakfast show. Definitely don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get all our information, and also our Telegram chat room. All right, for all information that's, as you can do, share that with your friend. And I do think 2023 will be a much better year than 2022. Thank you again, and see you, and happy Chinese Year, 恭喜发财, and bye bye.